So what's your fear? That specific fear is holding you back. You've got to stop letting fear hold you back. Could it be a fear of failure? A fear of being seen? A fear of trying? A lot of us are even afraid of fear of putting one step forward. Remember, Jeremiah 29:11 says to us that we shouldn't fear. Alone has a plan for us, a plan to bring us prosperity and not disaster. So whatever you have that is in your heart, today we are going to handle it. Today we are going to address it, and today we are going to find a way of stopping that fear that keeps holding you back. So keep watching. In my previous video, I talked about procrastination. Due to fear, you keep pushing your ideas, you keep pushing your dreams further and further away. In my previous video, I talked about procrastination. Procrastination is an arrogant thinking that God owes us another chance. So first and foremost, what are you afraid of? Have you identified your fear? Do you know what is stopping you from doing that specific thing that you want to do? So the first thing that we're going to identify right now before we go further into this video is know your fear. Identify your fear. So once you know what you're afraid of, you need to conquer it. There's no any other way around fear. You need to go through it in order to conquer it. There's no plan B. There's no second chance in fear. Once you have identified your fear, you need to approach it. You can't just dodge it. You need to go through it. You just need to. There's a way you can't just forget that fear doesn't exist. Fear really exists. It's real. But you can't let it control you. You can't let it come into your world like to stay. You have to conquer that fear. I don't know what your fear is, but the moment you've identified what you fear, it's time to conquer it. It's time to put it forward and you go through it. There's no any other way, There's no other way of saying, okay, right now I have this fear. Let me first put it aside. I'll come and handle it later. The best way to handle fear is to conquer and go through it. Fear is nothing but an illusion appearing real. It's really nothing. It's all in your mind. So you've got to look fear in the eye and conquer it. You just have to get a personal game plan, something that will work for you in order to get rid of this fear. We all have different personalities and we have different ways of we are going to conquer this fear. So you need to have a personal plan and what works for you. Do you want fear to conquer your life? Do you want fear to stay in your life? Sometimes because of your personality, you can think, for example, if you're insecure, fear of insecurity exists too. So you'll be like, I hate my nails, I hate my hair, what should I do about it? Sometimes you just have to either you correct it, go work on your nails, go work on your hair, or embrace it. I hate my nose. How can you really adjust your nose? God-given nose. Like really? So sometimes you just have to embrace whatever you have in order to conquer that fear. So let me tell you one secret. The thing you really hate about yourself is something that someone really wants. Has that crossed your mind? Just imagine someone, I'm like, okay, I hate my eyes. And someone is like, oh my God, I wish I just had your eyes, So because of insecurities, you feel like you fear being seen because of your eyes. Now, let's talk about success. The fear of trying. You know that a catalyst for success is failure? How will you know you'll fail if you haven't tried? How will you know you'll succeed if you haven't tried? Each and every time that we try to do something, two things can happen. You either go through it without any hassle or you fail, which is a very normal thing. So, without failure, you'll never learn. And without thinking that at the end of this, all the hassles that I'm going through, at the end of it, there's a success. If you put that in your mind, anything that comes along your way, the discouragement, the fear that we're talking about, any other hard thing that could come on your way, you can know that at the end of the day, I'm going to succeed. Now, I just want you to imagine, like, shift your mindset. Like, what if it doesn't fail? Now, the question is, what has that fear done for you? And most of you hear their stories. They have gone through a lot of trials, temptations, and failures. So who are you not to try? who are you not to try? The moment you try to do something, put your mind that God already has a plan for that to see you through. And if it fails, we should always believe that each and everything that we go through is for our own good. Wake up, do not let fear stop you from your success. You never know, by doing that thing is a game changer for you. So my advice to you today is go and try. Make the first step. And God can carry you through it without even realizing. And someday you'll be like, oh, I wish I'd done this thing so many years ago. What has been even stopping me? And you even be the same person encouraging another person out there to do the same thing. Do not let fear come into your way of success. Fear is there to stay. As long as you have the mentality that I can never do this, why did you think of this long time ago? And yet you had this idea like way before you have done it. Have you ever asked yourself that? Do not let fear stop you. The moment you're scared of telling anyone what is on your mind, that idea has already crossed someone's mind out there. And you'll be walking, you're like, oh, I actually thought about this. Why didn't I do it? Who is to blame? The idea. As most of you know, I do crochet. Sometimes I have like a design in my head. I'm like, the moment I don't put it down, I forget. So I always move around with my book, with my notebook, everywhere I go. So each time I see like a dress or a shirt or a top, I want to create that in my own version. So the moment I don't write it down, I tend to forget. So now I'm going to give you guys 4 tips on how to fight fear. So tip number 1, get that skill. Whatever you're afraid to do, first of all, you need to organize yourself. You need to equip yourself with the skills on whatever you want to do. Could be a motivational speech, farming, could be a business, could even approaching someone for a relationship, could be anything. So you need to get that skill on how to handle that and do them practically. And by getting, into, for example, myself, I used to fear so much sitting into the camera, and I'm like, okay, today I'm going to film myself. I was so scared. I was not used to this thing of YouTube and filming myself. So what I used to do, I would pick my phone, put the camera and talk to it. Just talk to it without even any plan. And I don't even post it, But whenever I sit, I start watching my videos and I get the confidence. That's equipping myself with the skill that I need. And right now, I'm not saying I'm really, really confident. Of course, I'm still a little bit. I'm getting the hang of it. So, yeah. So equip yourself in whatever you want to do. By doing this, whenever you're ready to handle that thing for real, fear would have disappeared. You would be strong by then. So, the first tip is skill yourself. So, tip number 2, get a support system. It would mean friends, family, even total strangers. But just know that wherever you're going to get the support system, they have a clue on what you're going to do. And because you're hanging around them, you get comfortable in whatever they're doing. For example, I follow a lot of social media, people who do crochet in general. I follow them on social media. I follow them on I read their books, I read their websites. I interact a lot with them, and this has kind of motivated me. Sometimes you feel like these people are just out of my league, you put yourself down there and you think you cannot be like them. No, they're like in a different planet altogether. That perception is so wrong, and you need to be very, very sensitive in knowing who has his or her best interest, of you. So sometimes we have people we think have our own interests at heart, but they're the same people who discourages us. They're the same people who go behind our back and start talking. Oh, so now you're trying. So now you think you succeed. So and so has done this and he didn't even go through. Why do you waste your time trying to avoid such people at all costs? Some people are just so negative. Generally, they're just negative. So my advice to you is choose who to and learn to talk to people. It's really not a crime to talk to people and know your limits. Don't like pour you out there for, it's a bit tricky. It's a crazy world out there. Know who to talk to. And what I'm really trying to say is get that support system who know who you people. We live in a crazy world, really. This world is so crazy. There's so many people out there who are just sent to ruin other people's lives. Can you imagine that? Some people out there just don't want you to succeed. You tell them a business plan, they're like, okay, you try, it won't succeed, whatever. So try your level best to choose your circle of friends, choose your immediate circle. So number 3, believe and trust the process. Sometimes we are in a hurry. This life, you're in a hurry, you crash. Sometimes you really want something to work there and then. I like giving examples a lot about what I do, but that's a bag that I made, you know. Anyway, process. You need to dream that, oh my God, yeah, I can't wait for this to like come to life. I can't wait for my dreams to come to life. I imagine myself like done with this. This is really good. It's a good feeling that I'm done. Sad feelings can really encourage you. Each and every step, leads to a bigger stuff. So you need to trust each and everything that you do whenever you want to achieve that dream. And because of this, it limits your fear, because that small step that you're going to take is going to lead you to is going to lead you to success. So put it at the back of your mind that, okay, this is just, it's for now. The hustle is now. Let me keep pushing. At the end of the day, to work out. Yeah. Yeah. So, in other words, what I'm trying to say is enjoy the process, work on it tirelessly, give it your all. At the end of the day, success. So, last but not least, you're only human. Do not focus on the bad, focus on the good. I normally tell myself whenever I'm going through a rough time, we all do, right? So whenever I'm going through a rough time, I've trained my mind. It's hard, trust me, it's really, really hard. I've trained my mind to see good in everything that happens to me. That's hard, you know. It's easier said than done. You're only human. You don't need to push yourself beyond your boundaries to achieve something. Actually, you need to do like the smallest portion possible. Take the lead, take the action, take the step, and God will do the rest. God has given us a very special thing. And He keeps promising us each and every time that, trust me. There's a lot of verses in the Bible. I can't put really. I'm not so good with Bible verses, like quoting a specific scripture from what book, but I know and I've read so many times whereby God has promised us a lot of things. God's promises are true and they never fail. So what I'm trying to say here right now is do your part and leave the rest for Him. Do what you can, do what you humanly can, and don't push your way through if you really can. Don't do it by your mind, but rely on His strength. God has promised us so many things in the Bible. And as human beings, we think that we can do it all. We can do it with all our might, which is very impossible. Sometimes you wake up in the morning and you're like, okay, I woke up this morning because last time I ate well. I woke up this morning because yesterday I did this and that. There's so many things we don't do it because we are able to, but it's because of God's strength. So what I'm trying to say in this point here right now is focus on the good, give it your best, and leave the rest to God. So the moment you stop fear from controlling you, the moment you stop fear from controlling your whole life is going to shift to another place. And because of this, God will strengthen you. God will send people to change your life. God will give you new ideas. You get support from all corners that you cannot even expect. So let fear go. Do not fear. Fear of insecurities, fear of being seen, fear of doing anything, fear of failure. Just try your level best to get rid of it. And one secret I want to leave you with, read your Bible. There's so many things in the Bible that can strengthen you, that will make you get rid of that fear. So let me end this video here. I hope you have enjoyed this video. And please, please, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please do subscribe. I'm going to give you 1 second so that you subscribe. You're done? Thank you so much. Thanks so much for watching. Have a blessed time. I don't know what time you're watching this. Night, day, good night, good morning. Have it all the best. Thank you so much. God bless. Mwah, mwah.